behind. Oh. Right now this morning, health alert, the surprising link between your insurance coverage and breast cancer risk, the eye-opening new research. And UWL's new Dance Minor program presents its first concert tomorrow night. We'll show you what audiences can expect.
Plus, more rainfall on the way as we go through this morning and into the afternoon for folks north of I-94. We could see maybe 1/10 of an inch of rainfall here locally. More about that coming up in just a moment.
Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for watching News 8 Now this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is October 31st. Happy Halloween, everybody. The real trick is going to be the weather, kind of, right? We're not in for a treat weather-wise.
Pretty much. The weather is just like, I rule.
Oh, there you are. Art, so kind of you to upload this footage of you dancing.
Oh,
so
sure,
yeah.
Greg found all these. He loves that stuff. In fact, as we get into it here, windy conditions will ensue today. We'll get winds up to at least 29 to 39 miles per hour. Again, as we've been experiencing. The Halloween forecast, though, for you, yeah, it's going to be pretty chilly. We've already seen our highs today, probably in the middle 50s, and now we're looking at what's going to be in store for the remainder of the day for us today. That being said, take a look here. This is the rainfall over the last 24 hours, and man, it looked like we got a lot, but a lot of this rainfall broke down, and we didn't get a whole lot. In fact, as you get into it, you can see La Crosse did, though, about 1.65 inches of rainfall. Other locations, you can see Winona was about 1.2, Viroqua, excuse me, about 1.1 quarter almost. You can also see as you get into Eau Claire, they were just under 1/10 of an inch as well. So that being said, they're going to get some more rainfall on the way today, and it's going to last all day. We've got the wind and the falling temperatures as I just showed you, but south of I-94, wet conditions for the morning, slight chance in the afternoon for a shower. We'll see along and north of I-94, 194, you're looking at least wet all day. When I come back, I'll show you who's getting that rainfall and what it's going to be.
The battleground blitz rolling on this Halloween. Former President Trump hitting New Mexico and Nevada today, while Vice President Harris will campaign in Nevada and Arizona. Both candidates fresh off dueling stops here in Wisconsin and North Carolina. CBS's Jared Hill reports from Detroit on the race for union votes, now just 5 days from Election Day.
In a branded garbage truck, former President Donald Trump grabbed onto a gaffe by President Biden.
I can tell you who the real garbage is.
Continuing the controversy over Biden's comment while speaking to Latino voters.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable, and it's un-American.
The president later clarified he was referring to the disparaging joke at a Trump rally about Puerto Rico.
I can assure you we're not garbage.
At Trump's Green Bay rally, former Packers quarterback Brett Favre also played up the comments. Further south in Madison, Vice President Kamala Harris brought her own star power with performances from Mumford & Sons and Gracie Abrams.
Just like Wisconsin's state motto tells us, we will move forward.
It was her third stop of the day after stumping through North Carolina, which Trump also hit, and Pennsylvania. Yesterday, a judge there extended the deadline for mail-in voting in Bucks County after former President Trump filed a lawsuit over long lines and reports of voters being turned away. Voters there now have until close of business tomorrow to apply for and receive a mail-in ballot.
The Midwest is home to hundreds of thousands of union workers, which could be key in tight races in swing states like Wisconsin and here in Michigan.
Angel Sharp has been knocking on doors in Detroit for months.
I might have knocked over at least 500.
Encouraging fellow members of the Service Employees International Union to get out and vote.
What are you hearing from people about what they're hearing about the candidates?
I tell them it's best to always look it up for yourself. Don't always just go off of what the TV says.
Good advice. Both Harris and Trump will return to Michigan in the lead up to the election in a final push to win that toss-up state. And battleground polls showing Trump and Harris neck and neck. Trump's teasing a campaign secret with the House Speaker.
We're going to do really well with the House, right? Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over.
Speaker Johnson says Trump meant get out the vote plans, but Democrats worry about a different scenario, a potential electoral college tie at 269. That would let the House pick the president, with each state getting one vote. UW La Crosse professor Tragowski calls it unlikely, but warns about another wild card, faithless electors.
We saw numerous faithless electors in the 2016 election. And to me, that is a real vulnerability of the Electoral College system.
A faithless elector breaks from their state's popular vote. While it did happen in 2016, it wasn't enough to change things. Wisconsin now requires electors to follow voters' choice, and the Supreme Court says states can enforce it. If you want to vote early today, you can do that. La Crosse residents can vote at City Hall beginning at 8:30 until 4 this afternoon, the Northside Policing Center from 9 to 2, or the Moob Cultural and Community Agency from 9 to 2. If you live in Onalaska, you can head to the city clerk's office from 8 to 4. Both the Tomah and Sparta school districts are aiming to pass some of the most expensive capital referendums in our viewing area, both of which would upgrade the district's high schools. News 8 Now's Allison Ferget has the details for us.
Two Monroe County school districts with the same goal, better learning environments for their students.
Brand new facilities are just as important as the wonderful teachers that are providing extraordinary content.
Tomah's $177 million referendum would create a new high school building. The current high school would then be converted into the district's middle school, and the current middle school would become an elementary school. With the upgrades, the district would also close 5 buildings.
So one brand new high school has the opportunity to influence and positively impact our entire physical plant structures here within the school district, answering a lot of the challenges that we observed through a year-long review of our physical plant.
One of those challenges, the district outgrew the buildings.
Some of our elementary schools and our outlying schools, they don't have dedicated art classrooms, music classrooms.
The project would increase property taxes $257 per $100,000 of property value. Less than 20 miles west, Sparta area schools have a similar goal. An $87 million capital referendum would replace an aging wing in the high school building.
Building a 2-story addition in the northeast part of Sparta High School.
The district would move classes into that new space and tear down the older part of the building. The referendum would also cover smaller upgrades at Meadowview Middle and Southside Early Learning Center.
Our goal is that this renovations to all of our district buildings will move our facilities forward for many, many years to come.
Thanks in part to debt payment plans, Sparta's referendum will increase taxes $12 for $100,000 of property value. It's unsurprising that the two districts are both turning to a referendum. Almost half of Wisconsin school districts will have gone to a referendum by the end of this year, largely due to state funding falling behind inflation. District officials know taxpayers are being asked to carry the burden, but they say these school projects are important to the community's success.
We want our students, our faculty, and our community members to all experience the power of a brand new building and also the opportunities that it would allow.
For us, it's about the need, not necessarily the want. But every community story is a little bit different, and that's why having these discussions is so important.
You can find information about both of those referendums on the school district's websites. We have those links for you at news8000.com. And the $53.5 million choice now goes to La Crosse voters after school leaders wrapped up their community sessions last night. After 12 sessions explaining the plan, voters will now decide. The proposal: close Emerson and Spence, building one new elementary school. State Road and Hingen would merge with a new addition. Leaders say it would unite the community.
It allows us to upgrade our facilities to meet today's learning needs of our students. The board put this on the ballot because they believe it strengthens our communities. It brings neighborhoods and classrooms and schools together instead of dividing them.
Attendees met with board members to discuss the referendum's impact on students. And the prosecution expected to rest its case today in the trial of Winona's Adam Fravel. On the stand yesterday, multiple friends testified they saw bruises on Madeline Kingsbury's neck and throat. One friend said Kingsbury told her Fravel had choked her. An expert explained why victims often stay in abusive relationships when kids are involved. The defense will then take over tomorrow with closing arguments set for Monday. An Onalaska school custodian pleaded not guilty to child pornography charges. 65-year-old David Baltz was one of 3 arrested this month in a joint operation by La Crosse and Onalaska police. The school district has placed him on administrative leave. Baltz is free on a $750 signature bond. His next court date is November 15th. We're learning new details about a deadly Highway 35 crash we first told you about during yesterday's broadcast. Crawford County deputies say 3 people died after their SUV crossed the center line and hit a semi head-on late Tuesday night. According to the sheriff's office, 16-year-old Benjamin Kramer and his 13-year-old brother Simon were pronounced dead on scene. Their mother, 45-year-old Heather, died later at the hospital. The semi driver was not hurt. The time now is 6:10. Still ahead on your morning news. Donald Trump's social media stock is suffering a sudden setback. Dodge issuing a massive pickup truck recall, and it'll soon be cheaper to order almond milk for your latte at Starbucks. And according to the new economic report, the economy is growing, consumers are spending, and inflation is cooling. We'll share those details with you after the break. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning if you are a Dodgers fan, of course. The Los Angeles Dodgers won the 2024 World Series last night in Game 5 against the New York Yankees. The Bronx Bombers fumbled an early lead that pushed the Dodgers ahead to take the championship. And now we are leaving you with a wake-up call with the city with the oldest Major League Baseball stadium still in use to this day. We're keeping with our MLB theme this morning. If you haven't guessed it already, that is Boston, Massachusetts. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is next.
Here's your choice. Tammy Baldwin wrote the law requiring American infrastructure use American iron and steel.
Eric Hovde invested millions in companies that outsourced Wisconsin jobs.
Tammy's fought for Wisconsin's dairy industry.
Hovde asked why he should even know what's in the Farm Bill.
And Tammy Baldwin wrote the law letting kids stay on their parents' health care till they're 26.
Hovde wants to end the Affordable Care Act.
Tammy Baldwin's the one working for Wisconsin.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Who does Derek Van Orden think he is? This guy who reportedly shouted at kids in the U.S. Capitol? I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman.
Derek Van Orden doesn't care about making our lives better. He'd make Wisconsinites pay just to give huge tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. Van Orden even sides with extremists who tried to cut Social Security. Wisconsin deserves better, and Derek Van Orden does not belong in Congress.
HMP is responsible for the content of this advertising.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it.
He did it. It was pretty devastating.
He is bragging about the rights that he stole from American women, and Trump is promising to do more. In Project 2025.
They are restricting birth control,
tracking pregnant women, enforcing a nationwide abortion ban. The government should get out of my business.
Stay out of my business.
That's not the government's business. In America, women make their own decisions.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
I believe in bringing people together, like my family and neighbors did when I was growing up on the north side of La Crosse. And now that I'm in the state legislature, it's why I focus on bipartisanship, because my whole being is focused on bringing people together to find solutions to make everyone a winner. I've appreciated the opportunity to be your state representative, and if I'm reelected, that's what I'm going to continue to do. My entire focus will be on bringing people together to make Wisconsin a better state.
Sunday, November 3rd is the day we've all been waiting for. It's Buzzy's annual 12-hour sale. Get the best deals of the year for 12 hours only from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. Furniture pricing is drastically reduced with over 50% off select products. Get a free adjustable base upgrade with select mattress purchases. Receive a $300 gift, interest-free financing, plus free delivery with Tempur-Pedic purchases, sleep experts on staff, door prizes, and so much more. Don't miss out. One day only at Buzzy's Home Furnishings.
You're thinking about new windows and doors. I've been thinking about new windows and doors for over 40 years. You're thinking about the best window at the best price. I'm thinking about the best window at the best price for you. The best quality, installed by professional installers at a fair price. If you're planning new windows and doors, you owe it to yourself to contact the Board Store Home Improvements for a prompt free estimate. You'll be glad you did. Contact us today.
Good morning to you and happy Halloween. The rainfall that we'll have this morning, that's it right there. And it's still rearing its head going over to areas by the Twin Cities. And of course, you see it just updated right there. Over La Crosse, possibly with a light to moderate shower working through the area as that continues on. We'll also see this morning there is a winter weather advisory you can see in purple. That's all the way up there. That goes starts at 8 a.m. and continues to about 3 p.m. And that means there's the possibility of some snow into the forecast, believe it or not, in the form of maybe in that form for them about 3 to 4 inches. For us locally, not much happening here, but once we get into it, temperatures are going to fall. We're going to be seeing south of I-94 wet morning for us today, and then we'll get into the afternoon with a slight chance along north of I-94 as well as up there northward. You're looking at the possibility of showers to continue throughout the day, maybe even a storm. We're picking up some fog, some dense fog, some patchy fog out there as well, so please slow it down out there. Take your time, and the roadways are still wet as well. We're also picking up that rain you can see as we go through the next few hours, continuing on till about the noon hour and then beyond all the way into 3 o'clock. Kids going to school today for La Crosse with their costumes. You have a little chance of a rainfall sprinkle here going into it to a shower. You're also going to be seeing in the afternoon drier conditions. We'll also get into Eau Claire. Eau Claire will be in the showers, possibly with a mix of snow, of course, showers and the wind. Back to you.
In your consumer news this morning, $1 billion stock drop for Trump's social media company. Truth Social's parent company saw its worst day since going public, plunging 22% yesterday. That wiped $1.3 billion from Trump's net worth in just one day. The sharp reversal comes after weeks of gains, though the exact cause still not clear. More than 33,000 Dodge Ram 1500 pickup trucks are being recalled. Pay attention if you have one of these. They're being recalled over stability issues. Chrysler says the system that keeps the trucks from losing control in critical driving situations could fail. The recall impacts certain 2025 models. Chrysler dealerships will repair the issue for free. Owner notification letters will be sent out in December. It'll soon be cheaper to order almond milk for your latte at Starbucks. The coffee chain announcing customers will no longer have to pay extra for adding the non-dairy milk to their orders. Starbucks says customers who order non-dairy milk will now pay 10% less for their drink. In fact, that change will take effect next week. The economy is growing, consumers are spending, and inflation is cooling. At least that is according to a new economic report from the Commerce Department. It's one of 3 crucial reports out this week leading up to Election Day. CBS's Danya Backus reports from Los Angeles.
The economy is the #1 issue for voters in recent polls. The most common concern, higher prices.
When we get the final bill, it's like sometimes it's sticker shock.
Inflation is it's getting the best of a lot of us.
But new data from the U.S. Commerce Department finds what consumers are feeling has not impacted how they're spending. The economy grew 2.8% over the summer, thanks in large part to Americans opening up their wallets.
And what's funny about that is you think about every single poll that says, I feel lousy about prices and the economy. And yet, in this report, we learned that consumers spent at an annualized pace of 3.7%.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says robust consumer spending, despite higher prices, is likely what has kept the U.S. out of a recession.
It looks like we're getting this so-called soft landing. High inflation met with higher interest rates without causing the economy to crater.
The report also found more signs of cooling inflation. September data on inflation and spending drops Thursday. Then Friday, October data on wages and employment. Employers are expected to have hired 120,000 workers. But recent hurricanes and the East Coast port strike might drag those numbers down. The Federal Reserve will consider all of it when it meets next week. Economists expect they'll cut interest rates 0.25 percentage point and may do it again in December.
That's it for your morning consumer news. Time now is 6:19. Let's check back in with Art and get a look at our Halloween forecast.
Okay, Alexander, as we go into it, we have a winter weather advisory in play right there. You're going to be seeing all the way in the purple, extending out to at least 3 p.m. today. That's going to mean about 2 to 4 inches of snow, and that's pretty much over in Minnesota. That being said, we'll also hold on to temperatures right now. You're looking at 30s and some and all the way into in the evening hours around 9 o'clock. You're looking at widespread 30s, so it's going to be a chilly night tonight. You're also holding on to visibility that's getting down to at least patchy to dense fog out there, and so please, as I mentioned before, take it easy, take it slow, and give the person in front of you a little bit extra room, and you may want to start just a little bit earlier today to get to work. You're also looking at all that fog kind of moving up backwards, or going northwest up to areas by Minneapolis, so it's getting out of the way gradually, but it's going to go up I-94, so please take it slow there with extra fog on the way for you. For the kids going to school today, off to school for the kids, 54 degrees in La Crosse. For the 7 o'clock by the afternoon, by 3 o'clock, you're looking at 42 degrees, and yeah, it's not it's going backwards, these temperatures. They're falling temperatures today. Even Eau Claire will hold 45 degrees at 7 o'clock with a shower or two continuing on. You'll see more showers and wind dusting up as we get into 38-mile-per-hour temperature, 38-degree temperatures for the afternoon. So that being said, we're looking at this for the day as these temperatures continue to fall from 10 a.m. to 2 all the way to 3 to 7, and then 8 to 12 midnight. You're looking at temperatures getting in the 40s and 30s for the better part. With the winds, it's going to add that wind chill and cool temperatures down for you, so you're going to need to bundle up those kiddos. What we're looking at as we go through the forecast here, we're going to hold on to conditions like this. In the morning here locally, we have a 90% chance of rainfall on the way, and that means we're going to be seeing this continue through the afternoon. So we start off with some showers in the morning. They continue to lift up northward along I-94, continuing in there. Then there's going to be a collection or a mix of rain and snow. Possibly it may affect Eau Claire. It may definitely affect areas right by Ladysmith because they have that winter weather advisory just north of them, and of course to their northwest. That'll continue for them. Then they'll have that rainfall all the way into the afternoon and finishing out at least by the time you get in the 4 o'clock with drier skies. But we're looking at overcast conditions today, getting down to mostly cloudy skies by the time we get in the afternoon for south of I-94. That being said, tomorrow we go to cooler temperatures, 52 degrees for you. Your morning lows all in the 30s, as you can see. By Saturday and Sunday, you've got dry conditions with wet conditions on Sunday. That continues into Monday, Tuesday, and then breaks down with drier conditions going into Wednesday at 55 to 52 degrees. That's a look at your forecast. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. Time now is 6:22. Still ahead, a new study warning health insurance coverage disparities may be behind an increased risk of breast cancer. Coming up, we'll take a look.
Coming up in the Blitz, West Salem cross-country runners are getting ready for the state meet on Saturday. Hear why they're confident heading into the big race.
At Ashley, it's not just Black Friday. It's the Ashley stain-resistant fabric, where have you been all my life Black Friday event. But don't wait. It's also the Ashley you can save up to $1,000 store-wide Black Friday event.
I'm Tara, a nurse here in Wisconsin, and my patients don't want politicians like Eric Hovde making their healthcare decisions. He means what he says about opposing reproductive rights.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
And there are forces in Washington who want to pass a nationwide ban on abortion. And if Hovde gets elected, I worry he'll support that ban that could turn nurses like me into criminals. We need to vote against Eric Hovde.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
I thought I knew Tammy Baldwin.
I thought I knew Tammy Baldwin.
But boy, is she extreme.
Tammy's open border policies flooded Wisconsin with fentanyl and criminals.
Her bill to force women to share locker rooms with biological men
dangerous. And Tammy's done nothing to lower the cost of living.
In fact, she helped cause the crisis.
25 years is enough.
It's enough.
It's enough.
It's time for Tammy Baldwin to go. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When I was 27, I was diagnosed with MS. That's life-altering news. I had to prioritize my health and start taking medication. Back then, these cost $6,000 a year. Now the generics cost 5 times that. Senator Baldwin claims she's fighting to lower drug prices, but she's taking millions from Big Pharma and works for them. I'm not taking their money. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'll fight the corruption and lower drug prices because I've lived it.
At Ashley, it's not just Black Friday. It's the Ashley Mommy Needs This More Than Anything Else in the World Black Friday event. But don't wait, because it's also the Ashley You Can Get 0% Interest for 72 Months Black Friday event.
The Blitz. While the West Salem Panthers are having quite the fall sports seasons, the volleyball team won conference and is still alive in the postseason. The football team has been ranked in the top 5 basically the whole year. Now both cross-country teams are getting ready for the state meet on Saturday. It's the 4th season in a row that the Panther girls team has punched their ticket to Wisconsin Rapids, while the boys are now on their 5th consecutive time running at the state championships. For the girls, it's been a season of ups and downs with injuries and other obstacles, but the Panthers' top finisher from the 2023 state meet, Mia Olson, says they'll lean on their experience on the big stage.
Coming in, we're an older team, so that has its advantages, especially because I think almost everyone has ran at the state meet previously. So, you know, we're familiar with the environment, so we're ready to see what state holds for us this year.
And on the boys' side, there's a bit of a revenge factor on the minds of the West Salem Speedsters. Last year, they finished 4th in the team standings, and they're looking to improve upon that placement this time around, following their motto, Run as One.
Obviously, we've been there in the past. Last year, 4th place finish. Maybe not what we wanted, but a huge stepping block towards a bigger goal, obviously, this year. And I think that we'll really be able to make our mark if we run as one.
Now the girls run at 12:40 while the boys run at 2:35 at Ridges Golf Course in Wisconsin Rapids. Wednesday night college volleyball action. UWL women taking on Stout at home. First set, Blue Devil offense looking to add one to the board, but it gets sent back courtesy of Paige Geyser. Eagles up 2. Then UWL making some noise at the net. Annie Werner goes through the block for the kill. Blue Devils then looking to find their footing in the opening game. Brooke McCune gives it a go, and it lands out of bounds to make it 12-8. Then it's McCune again. Stings one that falls to the floor for the point. She had 28 of them in the contest. This one would go 5 sets, back and forth affair, but Stout ends up on top, taking the final set 15-13. And head to news8000.com under the Play of the Week tab to cast your vote for your favorite of the 5 nominees. Voting ends tomorrow at 5. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Oh, please. Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. She made her living trying to elect Democrat extremists. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. No wonder extremists like AOC are spending big bucks to elect liberals like Cook. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we're the cold weather experts, offering unbeatable deals on the gear and supplies you need to get ready for winter. Like these Best Air furnace filters, just $7.99. Trico wiper blades are on sale. Buy one, get one half price. Get $120 instant savings when you buy 4 Goodyear tires. Rewards members save an extra $50 and get up to $100 in additional savings by consumer rebate. Plus, check out unbeatable toy deals in Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland, now open.
Let's talk about Rebecca Cook. She's a political operative. She's worked for Defund the Police radicals across this country.
Cook spent millions getting Mandela Barnes elected, the most anti-law enforcement candidate in Wisconsin's history.
You remember Barnes, the guy who said reducing prison populations was sexy?
Defund the police radicals make it harder for us to keep you safe.
That's why we can't support Rebecca Cook, because she'll never support us.
Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Sunday, November 3rd is the day we've all been waiting for. It's Buzzy's annual 12-hour sale. Get the best deals of the year for 12 hours only from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. Furniture pricing is drastically reduced with over 50% off select products. Get a free adjustable base upgrade with select mattress purchases. Receive a $300 gift, interest-free financing, plus free delivery with Tempur-Pedic purchases, sleep experts on staff, door prizes, and so much more. Don't miss out. One day only at Buzzy's Home Furnishing.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She supported his disastrous economic agenda, higher taxes on the middle class. Kamala backed his open border policies, and their weakness invited wars. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower, and the border secure. But Kamala wants to double down on failure. Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor. And the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado. Visit HometownChevy.com.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Welcome back. In your morning medical news, the disparities are shocking. Cancer is the second leading cause of death among Hispanic people. And for most types of cancer, those who are Black have the highest death rate and shortest survival of any racial or ethnic group in the U.S. That, according to the American Cancer Society. Researchers want to know why. Mandy Gaither has more from a new report suggesting a possible advanced cancer culprit.
In the U.S., African Americans and those who are Hispanic are more likely to be diagnosed with an advanced stage of cancer, and at that point it's more difficult to treat and oftentimes incurable.
We wondered, how much of this was biology and how much was this sort of a modifiable social determinant of health?
That's why researchers with the American Cancer Society analyzed data from nearly 2 million cancer patients who are ages 18 to 64 and had one of 10 major cancers between 2013 and 2019. They found that a large reason for racial and ethnic disparities in advanced cancer risk is lack of health insurance coverage.
One can imagine a situation where one does not have health insurance, that one ignores symptoms earlier on, and someone doesn't go on for the routine screening tests.
Researchers say health insurance coverage is key to having access to high-quality health care, which can lead to disease prevention and early detection.
Ensuring that folks all have access to coverage, to care, I think is really important to reduce deaths and suffering from cancer.
The organization says separate data also highlights disparities in breast cancer, with Black women being less likely to be diagnosed with the disease than white women, but 41% more likely to die from it.
So I think step one is finding the cancer earlier on, and step two is ensuring that we have treatment that's equal for folks, regardless of who they are.
The study's lead author says securing health insurance for everyone is critical and could improve racial and ethnic disparities in the stage of cancer at the time of diagnosis and therefore improve cancer survival in those groups. Another new study finding weekend warrior workouts could be as effective as more regular exercise when it comes to lowering the risk of developing mild dementia. Researchers screened more than 10,000 people in Mexico with a tool used to detect cognitive impairment and dementia in older adults. hours. The researchers found the weekend exercisers were 13% less likely to develop mild cognitive impairment than those who didn't exercise at all. People who did exercise regularly were 12% less likely to develop the condition. Your expired COVID test may still work, but check first. The FDA says don't rush to toss those home COVID tests reaching their expiration dates. The agency is now offering online guidance for test extensions. This comes as some recently received free tests are nearing expiration. While the date shows when peak performance is guaranteed, many tests will work longer than marked. And Smoothie King unveiling a new menu for people who use GLP-1 weight loss medications like Ozempic and Wegovy. It's called the GLP-1 Support Menu. The company says it's meant to help those on GLP-1 medications achieve their weight loss or weight management goals. The menu features high-protein smoothies with 20 grams or more of protein, rich in fiber with 0 grams of added sugar. 5 differently named smoothies are offered in different flavors. The Reach Center is celebrating 3 years of serving low-income households facing housing, healthcare, and financial insecurities. The Coulee Cap executive director says having multiple resources under one roof has been critical to battling the homelessness crisis in the Coulee region.
Until you're co-located in one location, you really can't have the deep problem-solving conversations that you need to have, whether that's aligning procedures so that when people come in, it's a streamlined process for them, or just brainstorming on who has what resources to be able to help someone as they come in with multiple needs.
To date, more than 6,000 households have received help from more than 20 community organizations involved in the initiative. The Children's Miracle Network's annual Radiothon broke records this month. The annual event raising more than $118,000 to support local families. The money stays right here at home, helping patients and families at our local Children's Miracle Network hospital.
Families will directly feel the impact of these donations. We're really unique as a CMN hospital to be able to provide funds directly to families to help their child with whatever their specific needs are.
CMN hospitals distribute more than $340,000 directly to families every year. The time now is 6:36. Let's check back in with Art now to tell us what to expect on our morning commute.
All right, pumping up that festive mood here for Halloween. We're holding on to a little bit of wet today, and that'll carry over into the afternoon for some folks all the way to the north. And for us, we have the wet morning here early this morning here, getting into it right now. You can see the rainfall associated with this right now is just holding on right by La Crosse. You pick that up by Rochester, getting up to Eau Claire, and that's just for the 6:30 portion of the forecast. As we get into it here, we've got a winter weather advisory for snow potentially kind of moving into the area. As you can see, just north of Ladysmith. Also, the forecast is showing at least 2 to 4 inches for snow, but they're going to get a mix of rain and snow, so that's going to probably ruin that for a lot of folks that wanted to see their first flakes. The winds are going to kick up as well. They'll be up to 29 to 39 miles per hour in some cases. We may even see them as you get closer to Madison, up to at least 40 mile per hour, 45 mile per hour wind gusts. Patchy dense fog out there right now. You can see this continues on, working from Preston, going all the way up to Red Wing, getting over to Arcadia as well, and getting out of the way of La Crosse. Well, we'll pick up conditions to be pretty favorable for the day. Temperatures continue to cool for your forecast today.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Serenity is turning 8 months old today. She loves to crawl around the house and eat finger foods.
And Judine is turning 80. She loves dancing, traveling all over the country, and spending time with her friends and family, including 5 kids and 21 grandkids.
All right.
If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, that's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
UWL's new Dance Minor program hits the stage with powerful stories through movement. We'll have more on this weekend's performances ahead.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. They've always taken care of me. But when they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. So they sent me this Hollywood trainer. Oh, this guy's no joke. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Now let's try burpees.
Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular. Current customers get $1,200 off any phone, plus $400 off any tablet.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She supported his disastrous economic agenda, higher taxes on the middle class. Kamala backed his open border policies, and their weakness invited wars. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower, and the border secure. But Kamala wants to double down on failure. Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
He's supposed to serve Wisconsin, but Derek Van Orden doesn't care about making our lives better. Van Orden wants to repeal the law that stops insurance companies from denying coverage if you have a pre-existing health condition. He'd make Wisconsinites pay just to give huge tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. Van Orden even sides with extremists who tried to cut Social Security. Wisconsin deserves better, and Derek Van Orden does not belong in Congress.
HMP is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Think you know Steve Doyle? Think again. Doyle refused to protect our daughters, forcing them to share bathrooms and locker rooms with biological boys, and voted to force girls to compete against boys in sports. Doyle believes dangerous puberty-blocking drugs should be given to minors, and gender reassignment surgeries performed on children. Keep kids safe? Steve Doyle says no. Ryan Hipsch, focused on what matters, helping families with rising costs and protecting our children. It's just common sense. Ryan Hipsch for Assembly.
I'm running for the Senate because I love our country, but sometimes I don't recognize it anymore. What is right has become wrong, and what is wrong has become right. Politicians like Tammy Baldwin have led us down the wrong path. It doesn't have to be this way. We can lower the cost of food and medicine, close our border, and stop the flow of deadly drugs. Let's work together to restore the American dream and give our children a brighter future. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
If you want selection, then that's what we've got at King Furniture. More recliners. King Furniture has more Lazy Boy recliners than anywhere else in the Coulee region. Fabric, leather, even lift chairs. Try them all. Sit on this, sit on that. There's plenty here to choose from because it's all about choices, you know. And as always, free delivery. Just try that anywhere else.
King Furniture.
Nice people, nice furniture.
All right, this is what we've been experiencing over the last few days here, these alternate forms of heat here. We've got the colder air well over there as you go by Billings all the way down to Denver coming out of Canada. And then we've got the warmth coming up from the Gulf and then extending all the way up to the north, getting us from hot to warm to mild. That mild will last for today, well, at least it's going to get out of the way as we finish out for tomorrow. And then, of course, we'll go back into cool conditions. And when I say the mild, because we were holding on to highs, that probably occurred around, say, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock this morning. So we've already seen our highs. We're going to continue to have temperatures mostly in the 40s and the 30s today. That being said, as we go right into Sunday, you're looking at temperatures coming out of the cool and getting back into the mild, possibly 60s, working back into the forecast. And then, of course, we've got the transition to cold again with rain, of course, working through the area. Here's a look at the winter advisory, still holding on to the north, about 2 to 4 inches of snow working into the forecast. That could move into this rainfall that is here locally. And there's that rainfall and the snow associated with it. That mix gets in at around 3 o'clock. It gets up and out of the way, starts to move a little bit to the east. In fact, you're going to see temperatures in the 30s as we finish out the evening hours, pretty much going right into the visibility. We've got patchy to dense fog out there because of all the rainfall that we've experienced. This rain will continue to, this fog will continue to stay with us, even though there's a little bit of rainfall out there right now, and that continues to work to the north, and that's what's going on right now. So while all of that cooler air and moisture is over in Minnesota right for now, it's going to be pushing up that fog in their direction. We're going to go for areas by La Crosse. You're holding on to 54 degrees for this morning. For the next, for 7 o'clock, you're going to 42 degrees once you get into the 3 o'clock hour today. today. And over in Eau Claire, you're looking at 45 degrees at 7 a.m. this morning, and then 38 degrees once you get into the 3 o'clock hour for today. So it's going to get chilly. There are the other chilly conditions as you finish out going into your forecast to show you how this all plays out. Then we just realize our temperatures, yeah, we're seeing 55 degrees. That was from this morning, but our temperatures will be in the 40s today, holding on to falling temperatures, getting into more of that cool for tomorrow, starting out in the morning at 32 degrees, getting to 52 for the afternoon. Friday, that's Friday for you with partly cloudy skies and sunshine. Then we get into Saturday and Sunday with the possibility of dry conditions leading into an 80% chance of rainfall. But don't forget the end of daylight saving time. So that means you get to add an extra hour to your clock as you go into Sunday early morning. That's a look at your forecast.
UW-La Crosse dancers take the stage this weekend with something brand new for the campus and community. Art in Motion marks the debut concert for UWL's new dance minor program. We are joined by Ashley Dobrogos from UWL's Department of Theater and Dance. She'll tell us more about what audiences can expect when the curtain goes up tomorrow night. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
So this is the first full dance concert for the new minor program. How's everyone feeling? Pretty exciting, I bet.
Oh yeah, we're very excited.
Yeah.
All faculty and students involved, meaning cast and crew, we are ready to go. We are just finishing up our technical rehearsals this week, and so we're ready for opening night.
All right, so you guys are ready, so what can the audiences expect?
They can expect multiple pieces across various genres of dance. So ballet, jazz, modern, contemporary, kind of something for everybody, hopefully. Various pieces that deal with multiple different stories and themes and emotions.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, so a lot of kinds of dance, and as you mentioned, a lot of different themes. Some things like mental health, loss. Tell us more about why you chose such powerful themes.
Yeah, so there's one piece in particular called 5 Stages, and it touches on the 5 stages of grief.
Okay.
And it was actually very cathartic for me at that time when we were choreographing it, just as something personal I was going through. And so as an artist, it's kind of nice to work through your own emotions and mental health, you know, what you're dealing with personally through your art and your creativity. And then we also have other pieces in the show that are a little bit lighthearted that kind of balance out more of these other themes.
Okay,
well,
cool.
Good deal. How can we get tickets, and what do we need to do?
Yeah, so you can get tickets at www.uwlax.edu/theater and dance, and you can get those online starting now at any time, or you could purchase tickets at our box office in person.
Okay, great. And we've got that information up, some showtime, so people can get all that info there. Okay, so we know there's a bunch of different dance, like you said, you know, jazz, tap, different kinds of dance in there. Is that because the minor program explores such different themes, or why is that?
Yes, exactly. So our dance minor covers all different genres of dance: ballet, jazz, tap, modern, and musical theater actually as well. And so I wanted to showcase that, what we offer here at UWL. We wanted to let our students apply what they're learning in the classroom and put it on stage.
Great.
That is simply amazing. I want to get tickets for this. This is something else. All right, so why would you encourage the audience to attend?
You know, I think the community of La Crosse is very supportive of the arts, and dance is still new here, especially at UWL. And if you are someone who loves the arts, please come and support dance here so we can keep going and produce more shows. And if you're new to dance and don't maybe know what to expect, I think this is a great introductory for a lot of folks.
Great for a lot of kids that may want to join.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, get some inspiration. So is there a moment in the show that stands out, or something you're particularly excited for?
So the very last piece of the show is kind of this smoky jazz piece at the very end to close everything out, and it's brand new, and that's probably my most I'm most excited for that piece.
Okay, that sounds great. All right, we've got a couple seconds left here, so we know that this is kind of like the culmination of your new dance minor program. Anything you want people to know about that, or how that's been going?
Yeah, so we started in the fall of 2022. We started with 3 dance minors, and we are up to 27.
Wow.
Yes, so I'm very proud. I'm so excited. I'm really happy to always say that, because I'm very proud of that number and that growth.
That's a big growth.
And we have students from all across campus. We do have students who are theater majors, but then we also have students who are majoring in communications and psychology, biology, education, like all across campus. And these students get to come together, and they form this little community within dance, even outside of their majors, which is wonderful.
Yeah, that's great. All right, and what's that website quickly, one more time people can go?
www.uwlax.edu/theater and dance.
Okay, all the ticket info is there. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, stay with us. We're back right after this.
I'm I'm Nate Burleson. Coming up on CBS Mornings, acting greats Tom Hanks and Robin Wright join us to talk about reuniting after 30 years on their new film called Here. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
California banker Eric Hovde has a plan that helps him and hurts you.
Here's the math. Hovde proposed $4 trillion in new tax cuts for rich people like him.
And we pay for Hovde's tax breaks with a 28% cut to Social Security and a 25% cut to Medicare.
Hovde even said he would raise the retirement age.
You have to start changing the retirement age.
Eric Hovde still helping himself and hurting you.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this app.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde owns a $3 billion California bank. That's right, he owns it.
And a $7 million mansion on the beach.
Eric Hovde proposed $4 trillion in new tax breaks for rich guys just like him.
And to pay for it, Hovde would cut Social Security by 28%.
Slash Medicare 25%.
And veterans benefits 40%.
Outrageous. Now we know what's wrong with Eric Hovde. This guy is not for us.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She supported his disastrous economic agenda, higher taxes on the middle class. Kamala backed his open border policies, and their weakness invited wars. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower, and the border secure. But Kamala wants to double down on failure. Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I believe in bringing people together, like my family and neighbors did when I was growing up on the north side of La Crosse. And now that I'm in the state legislature, it's why I focus on bipartisanship, because my whole being is focused on bringing people together to find solutions to make everyone a winner. I've appreciated the opportunity to be your state representative, and if I'm reelected, that's what I'm going to continue to do. My entire focus will be on bringing people together to make Wisconsin a better state.
Donald Trump has always wanted unchecked power.
I have the right to do whatever I want as president.
And with Project 2025, he'll get it. No guardrails. This time, he will eliminate protections for pre-existing conditions, and he'll cut Social Security and Medicare to give more tax cuts to billionaires. Donald Trump is more unhinged and unstable than ever. If we give him total power, he'll put everything at risk.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
I thought I knew Tammy Baldwin.
I thought I knew Tammy Baldwin.
But boy, is she extreme.
Tammy's open border policies flooded Wisconsin with fentanyl and criminals.
Her bill to force women to share locker rooms with biological men, dangerous.
And Tammy's done nothing to lower the cost of living.
In fact, she helped cause the crisis.
25 years is enough.
It's enough.
It's enough.
It's time for Tammy Baldwin to go. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The First Warn Weather app. Download it today.
Welcome back. It's 6:52. Time for your morning news now. The prosecution expected to rest its case today in the trial of Winona's Adam Fravel. On the stand yesterday, multiple friends testified they saw bruises on Madeline Kingsbury's neck and throat. One friend says Kingsbury told her Fravel had choked her. An expert explained why victims often stay in abusive relationships when kids are involved. The defense will take over tomorrow with closing arguments set for Monday. The presidential frontrunners zeroing in on Wisconsin yesterday. Vice President Harris taking center stage at UW-Madison, bringing the star power with her. Gracie Abrams, Mumford & Sons, and Remy Wolf all firing up the crowd. Harris pushed for unity in this bitter campaign season.
We have an opportunity in this election to turn the page on a decade of Donald Trump, trying to keep us divided and afraid of each other.
Meanwhile, in Green Bay, Trump rallied with Packers legend Brett Favre. He posed at a Trump-themed garbage truck wearing an orange vest, mocking Biden's recent comments about his supporters.
Look at Joe Biden finally said what he and Kamala really think of our supporters. He called them garbage.
The White House says President Biden was referring to the comedian who made a racist joke about Puerto Rico at a Trump rally.
We're going to do really well with the House, right? Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over.
Speaker Johnson says Trump meant get out the vote plans, but Democrats worry about a different scenario, a potential electoral college tie at 269. That would let the House pick the president, with each state getting one vote. UW La Crosse's Chergosky calls it unlikely, but warns about another wild card, faithless electors.
We saw numerous faithless electors in the 2016 election. And to me, that is a real vulnerability of the electoral college system.
Faithless elector breaks from their state's popular vote. While it did happen in 2016, it wasn't enough to change the outcome. Wisconsin now requires electors to follow voters' choice, and the Supreme Court says states can enforce it. La Crosse residents can vote at City Hall starting at 8:30 till 4, the Northside Policing Center from 9 to 2, or the MOOB Cultural and Community Agency from 9 to 2. On-Alaskans can head to the city clerk's office from 8 to 4. Monroe County voters will see school building plans on their ballots next week. TOMA's $177 million plan would build a new high school, creating a domino effect. The current high school becomes a middle school shifts to elementary, and 5 buildings would close. In Sparta, an $87 million referendum would add a new 2-story wing to replace aging sections of the high school. Meadowview Middle and Southside Early Learning would also see improvements.
We want our students, our faculty, and our community members to all experience the power of a brand new building, and also the opportunities that it would allow.
For us, it's about the need, not necessarily the want. But every community story is a little bit different, and that's why, having these discussions is so important.
Both superintendents say they're feeling positive, saying they've had great discussions with the community.
And we're looking at some patchy to dense fog out there still holding on, but we do have rainfall that's going to be in the forecast for you as we finish out the morning hours. And as this extends, you're going to see it move to the north and a mix of rain and snow possibly up to the north. And they do have, again, a winter advisory going on up north of Ladysmith. That being said, our local temperatures are going to be quite chilly, holding on to mostly 40s and 30s to finish out the remainder of your day. We're also going to be seeing, again, the possibility of 50s today, lower 50s tomorrow after a morning of 32 degrees of temperature. We'll see again rainfall for the weekend.
Halloween decorations may not only spook your family and friends, it could also scare animals. This is how a Colorado Sheriff's Office is getting its equestrian partners ready for tonight. The agency says each horse had to be exposed to scary scenes for almost 8 hours to help them work on being calm in different scenarios. All right, well, yeah, happy Halloween from all of us here at News 8.
All of us.
All of us, including our new friend. He had a cheese head on, but I guess he's not too impressed with the Packer season. He wanted to take it off. Yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. Hope you have a safe day out there. Definitely want to keep an eye on your forecast.
Bundle up.
Yeah, stay bundled up. We'll see you back here at noon for another update.